Hey everybody, it's my birthday. It's August 4th. It's my birthday. You got to get me presents, and obviously the present I want is for you to subscribe. Subscribe to my vlog. It's RPG a day 4, and the question for today is where would I host a role-playing game if I could? And a lot of people have been putting Star Trek, the Queen Mary, a submarine. It's like, actually, yeah, submarine would be kind of cool, but no, I would just want to host a semi-weekly game, a bi-weekly game, because I know people can't commit every week, or a weekly game on Thursday or Fridays at a game store that actively supported a role-playing game community. Knowing full well that the role-playing game community, it will never make them as much money as Magic the Gathering will, because actually it will, just in the long term as opposed to short term. That's a whole separate topic. But yeah, that's all I'd want to. Now, considering that I have lived here in a small island off the coast of Costa Rica since 2002, it is now 2022, so basically 20 years. In that time, I have seen, currently, where I live now, there is a mall. In that mall is 3 stores that could count as a comic book store, game store, plus a Target. Within walking distance of that mall are 3 more game stores. Within driving distance of that mall, there are 5 more game stores within an hour drive going in every direction. Only one of those actively supports role-playing. Only one. Now, I've lived here in 20 years. Over that 20 years, I have seen at least 2 game stores open or and close in the town I live in. At least once a year. So, 20 game stores have opened and closed during the time I have lived here. Not one of them actively supported role-playing. Why is that? Why is it that I live in an incredibly small beach town within a few miles of a military base and 3 schools, and yet it has an unbelievably long history of game stores opening and closing, and none of them actively supporting role-playing? All of them following the exact same formula, and only one of them consistently being successful, even though that store has on various occasions both actively supported role-playing and vehemently denied the role-playing game community. And actually, one of the reasons why there is no role-playing community where I live is because that store that I was just speaking about had invested years of energy in making the role players in the community feel like shit. And part of the negative reputation I have where I live as a DM is because that store spent so much time and energy actively treating role players like shit and actively creating a hostile environment for role players that reputation sort of glommed on to me, so that I was also treated as somebody who was associated with that negativity. And the reason why this long history of stores opening and closing, all basically following the exact same formula, and all with the exception of one failing, and the only reason why the store that succeeded for as long as it did was because their rent was so cheap. The second the rent was raised, that store went out of business. Know who I'm talking about now? Okay. Is because every other store was built and made by people who were angry at the first store and wanted to put that store out of business. And their whole business model was perpetuate the illusion of how people are going to be treated in this city, perpetuate the illusion that that other store treats you like crap, treat other people like crap, send people to other stores to try and destruct that store. And if you build a store whose whole goal is to, we're going to put them out of business and treat every gamer in this town like shit because only Magic is our only actual source of money, every one of those stores failed because they were built out of anger. They were built by people whose only goal was to put the other stores out of business, to kill the role-playing game community, and to perpetuate the belief that only Magic the Gathering is the only way to make money. And I mean, those stores, of the 20 stores that have opened and closed in the years that I have lived here, only one, other than the store that I, have spoken of, tried to break that. Now, good things and bad things have been said by George from Hypno Comics, but I have nothing but good things to say about him. George, when he ran Hypno Comics, tried his best to foster both the role-playing game community and the comic book community and the Magic the Gathering community. And hindsight being 2020, George, I'm sorry, I should have been more loyal to you than I was. Because he was the only one that tried. The lady who runs Xander's, although she and I also got off to a bad start, over the years, she has proven to be somebody who is actively supporting all the communities in the neighborhood. But here, where I live in this small town off the coast of Costa Rica, other than George at Hypno Comics, almost every other store that has been opened with the goal to put the very first store out of business and to kill role-playing. Role-playing gamers don't make us money, so we don't want you in our store. All we want to do is sell Magic and maybe comic books and some action figures. And then and what they would also do is they would send people to steal other people's cards. I mean, we have a long history here of people stealing other people's Magic cards. I mean, it is just the constant hostile environment is why all these stores closed and failed. The only store that remained consistently successful was because it had a consistent, loyal base of customers and because it had such a low rent. So if I could host a game store, game anywhere, as a GM, I would want a store that supports the role-playing game community with the same level that it supports Magic the Gathering. Yes, you have the Friday Night Magic in the front, but you provide a table in the back for the gamers because they're going to come in on Friday too. And yes, your Magic the Gathering player is going to be putting down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, $20 to play in the tournament, then another $20 to $100 worth of boosters and stuff. And that's weekly. You're seeing $100 to $200 from these people. Of course, that's more money in short term than a D&D player who's going to come in every week. But if you have the toys that D&D players want to spend money on, like figures, dice, props, and the latest books and obscure older books, you're going to see the same level of money because the D&D players have that income that they're going to be like, yeah, I'll put down $200 for a copy of the Morrow Project because it's something I've always wanted. I'll spend, $20 a week on figures and dice if you have it. You got to have it. And you got to treat them like they're welcome. If you treat the role-playing gamers like shit, you're dealing with a lot of extremely intelligent people who have access to the internet and don't mind sharing. And those people, once they feel they are treated like shit, will never come back, and they will make sure no one else goes to your store. So, host a game in a game store that actively supports the gaming community, does not foster a hostile relation between the role players and the Magic the Gathering community, and provides the things that the Magic the Gathering players need, and provides the things that the gamers need, and has somebody there that makes everybody feel welcome. That's where I want to host a game. Anyways, I'm the OG GM. If you appreciate this, let me know. It's RPG a Day 2022. We'll be doing this every day, all month long. It's also my birthday, so if you haven't subscribed to my vlog yet, subscribe, you losers. I'll talk to you later.